Let's escape into the universe, but let me show you how to do it first. Sit patient till you feel it.
As a college freshman, there are many things that I've not done and many things I really want to experience. And I think there's a great deal I can learn about creativity and about the world by going out and doing things. So I decided to pick the strategy of experimenting with experiences because I think I can learn a lot about my creative confidence and try and improve it a lot by just experimenting things and just doing a lot of new things. So I think this strategy is one that I can get a lot out of. I live in New Jersey, so I go home once a month to visit my family for a weekend. And this time I went, I decided to take my girlfriend ice skating because I've never been before. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun for us to do, but I also thought it'd be a great experience for me to improve my creative confidence. I ended up having a really rough start. I definitely fell over 20 times, but each time was a learning experience. I got used to controlling my crashes and being able to realize when I was about to go down so I could try and get out of people's way in order to not hurt them. After much humiliation and giving a lot of bragging rights to my girlfriend, I got used to failing and ended up having a really good time. By the end of it, my knees and my elbows were really bruised up from all the falling I did, which started to get me thinking about ways I could try and fix it. And I started thinking that maybe you could put padding into like the elbows or the knees of certain pants and jackets. But then I started thinking how people don't really want to wear padding because it doesn't look cool or it may not like look very good with their clothing. So I thought if you could try and hide it in the clothing, then it could be a great hit for like many different people doing snowboarding or skating or ice skating, and it could help them like be a little more safe. So I thought it was really cool that just by experiencing something new, just by going ice skating, I started to think about new solutions for things I didn't even know or think about beforehand. Another time I went home, I decided to go apple picking with my girlfriend because, it's a cute little boyfriend girlfriend thing to do, but it's also something I've never done before, and I thought it'd be a great way to enhance my creative confidence. I know I've never been ice skating or apple picking. You're probably thinking what kind of kid I am, but now you're starting to see why I decided to experiment with experiences. There are definitely many things I have not experienced yet. After walking through numerous rows of apples, we started to pick up on different techniques on how to spot like good or bad apples. If there were leaves that were brownish, it was more likely that the apples on that tree would be pretty bad. We also noticed that if there were like a lot of apples on the ground beneath a particular tree, then it was more likely that the tree had pretty bad apples. We also noticed that many of the best apples were like closer to the top of the tree, and a lot of these were kind of hard to get. So I would notice people starting straining pretty far to try and reach them or try jumping. I even noticed some people putting their friends on their shoulders. I thought this was like kind of risky because you could like fall or hurt your back. And then after a while of like walking through the aisles, I noticed a stick that was like kind of like shaped like a V at one end, and I realized I could use this like knock the apples off their branches at the top. So after this, me and my girlfriend decided to have some fun with it, and I would like knock them off the top of the branch, and then she would try and catch them. I just thought it was like really cool that just by doing something as small as apple picking could force me to be more creative and try and come up with a solution for a problem that I didn't even know existed. After doing something as small as ice skating or apple picking, I really saw that your creative confidence can be greatly enhanced just by going out and experimenting with new things because it opens up your mind to a world of options that you weren't exposed to prior. It also is a really like natural experience to being more creative. It's not something where you're actively trying to be creative, but you're just letting the world take you and then it forces you to be creative without you really even knowing. I think the process outlined in The Necessity of Strangers is pretty similar to design thinking because it stresses empathy and encourages trying to talk to new people. By talking with new people, you can really gain new insights about how people feel and the other types of lives that other people live. So not only is the empathy aspect similar to design thinking, I also think that by doing the processes of Alan Gregerman, it can help you get a lot better at design thinking in general because it can give you a lot more new insights by learning people's perspectives, which can be really beneficial when you're brainstorming and trying to come up with different solutions. I also think the two processes are pretty different because when it came to design thinking, we were just sitting in a classroom and brainstorming, trying to come up with ideas based on what we already know prior to coming into the classroom. By going out into DC and doing the team learning activities, we got to like experience things for ourselves and just experience things on our own outside the confinements of a classroom. We got to talk with many different new people. We got to learn a lot just from like talking to random strangers or Uber drivers. Learn how like that industry works just by asking the Uber drivers what their experiences are like. We got to visit companies on our own and talk to the workers there. So it was just I thought it was a very different feel because we got to just get other people's insights that we didn't know instead of basing what like different decisions off the people that we already know in a classroom. What I thought was really beneficial about going on this trip was that it really taught you how to break out of your shell and make you think on your feet because you have to talk to a lot of new people and you really have to become very self sufficient. Um, and it can really teach you how to like take care of yourself on your own. I also thought it was a lot more than just like a creative exercise because it teaches you a lot about yourself, and it's really beneficial for anyone who's just trying to broaden their horizons. For me, it taught me a lot about how to manage my time and how having like a set plan and a set schedule can really be helpful when you're trying to go to a bunch of different places. But I also learned that it's really important to leave yourself some like wiggle room because you never know what could happen on the journey or what like new fascinating thing you may see. And so if you leave yourself time to go see it, then that can really help you observe new things. Like with for us when we were on our way to get food, we saw Chinatown and decided to take a detour through there because we thought it looked really exciting and energetic, and we thought it would be a really cool experience to just go and talk to the people there. And it turned out to be a lot of fun because we talked to one man who was a grocery store owner, and he just told us about what it was like to live in Chinatown, which we thought was like really cool. By going on the team adventure design, you get to like get out of the classroom or like the office and really experience the world for what it is. So I think that this can really help when workers are like so used to just being in an office and not really know what's going on with the products that they're selling or making for their consumers. By going out and like kind of like observing what they're doing with the products can really help you narrow down your target audience and like make the products more beneficial to the people that are using them. The teachings of Alan Gregerman are kind of different than like the traditional sense because traditionally like when you want to like learn about someone or something you're told to go on the internet or like go research them and talk to someone else about it that you know. But what Alan does, he tells you to go and talk to strangers, talk to people that you don't even know, which when you're a kid you're taught not to talk to strangers. That's like the wrong thing to do. And now he's coming out with saying go talk to people that you don't know, experience new things, which I thought is pretty cool because you really do like learn a lot more when you talk to people that you don't know because these are the type of people that normally have many different experiences than you do, and these are the people that you can really learn a lot from. um, and you also don't have to like take everything they say into consideration. You can take what you like and then incorporate it into your own knowledge, or you can not do it. So it's I think it's a great way just to build on your own person and just learn more about the world that we live in. Another thing that I love that Gregerman stresses is keeping your head up when you're like walking around because a lot of people are always looking down at their phones and like are really self-absorbed with what's going on in like the Twitter sphere and kind of miss like really great observations going on like in everyday day-to-day life. So I think by keeping your head up, you can really learn a lot more. There are two really main lessons that Tesla taught me, and that's the importance of embracing new technology and having good customer service. Because they kind of showed the importance of never getting too used to what your company became successful on or being too proud to change. Because change is like necessary, and if you don't change, then you're gonna get left behind. You also have to embrace technology, which is exactly what Tesla does because they are using new technology to produce an extremely green and cost-effective car. By going there, I really learned the importance of having helpful employees because in many other dealerships, they're all about sell, sell, sell. But at Tesla, the workers are extremely informed about the company and the technology that they're using, and they're basically there just to answer like any and all questions you have. They don't really like get in your face and try and sell it to you. They just let you enjoy the experience on your own. In order to appeal to the new generation, you really have to physically appeal to them. You have to like create a place where people will want to go and then will want to stay there long enough in order to buy something. Urban Outfitters did a really good job of this because they made it a really feel like a really laid back place and had a very hipster like feel to it, which is what the majority of the new generation is like. They even had a place where you could just sit and read, which really made you feel kind of relaxed and at home. So in general, you have to create a place where people will feel comfortable. Um, like the new generation today really like to shop in stores where they feel is an extension of their own personality. So that's like a main thing that companies should be doing. Another main thing companies need to do is have a really strong customer service. They need to like make the customers feel like they are in control and can get a good feel of what they're trying to buy, which is what Apple did really well because they would have like a worker there tell you they're there for you and then let you just go off on your own and experience all of the products for themselves, and then they're always there to answer any questions you have, and they really do have an extensive knowledge of the products, so it makes you really want to buy the products when the workers are catering to all of your needs. Association is the ability to connect things. I've tried to improve my associational skills just by keeping an open mind. Whenever I encounter something new, I try to understand it and connect it with something that I already know about. I've personally tried to use these methods by applying it to the business my friends and I want to start when we get older. We go to like a lot of concerts with DJs, and so we decided that we want to start our own music festival with DJs. And what I've noticed is that a lot of concerts have like different feels to it. Some will be like foam, some will have like paint that is like thrown on you, and others can be like glow in the dark. So what I like have been thinking is that like we could associate it all into one huge like festival and have different stages be different feels. So one stage can have paint, one stage can have like foam, another can glow in the dark. So just have like the best of all the different kind of concerts in one festival. We've decided to call it Mamba Fest after the Black Mamba, so I've decided to associate the eccentric psychedelic colors with the intensity of the Black Mamba snake as our logo, much like Steve Jobs did with his Apple logo. In order to become more observant, I've decided to take different routes to class in order to see like different things or just notice new things that I haven't noticed on other routes. And when I do this, I keep my head up. I don't look at my phone in order to be able to see everything, and so I don't miss anything like fascinating or miss like norms of like everyday life that I haven't take heed of before. And one thing I have noticed is that there's a lot of chaos no matter which route I take, because there's always a bunch of different people going in different directions and using different modes of transportation. Like some people walk, some people have skateboards, some people are on bikes, and it causes like a lot of confusion. So instead of just like thinking about this and then forgetting about it, I've decided to take it one step further. Knowing that questioning is vital to the innovative process and me trying to become a better questioner, I've decided to like think about why this chaos happens and how like it could be improved. And I realized that like a lot of people are always going in different directions and going to different places, so it causes a lot of confusion. It causes a lot of traffic. So I started to think about why, like how we can improve this, and then I thought about buses, and I wondered why people really aren't using buses to get to their classes, and it's because they're pretty infrequent. They don't really run as much, and they take a pretty long time to get to where you want to go because of all the stops. So then I started thinking like how like what could be a better mode of transportation other than buses that wouldn't cause a lot of traffic. And I thought about ski lifts because they run every couple seconds. They can take you where you want to go. They're also pretty fun, and they'll be above the ground, so it'll get rid of traffic. So I thought that this could possibly be like a great way to get rid of the traffic and still get people to where they need to go. Since experimenting is a huge part of the innovative process and I'm trying to improve my experimental skills, I decided to take this another step further. Um, since I don't have the capital to like produce this on like a small scale and test it that way, I do have one resource which is thousands of people at my disposal. So I did try using that, and I decided to take a survey and ask the people at University of Maryland how they get around, how they get to their classes, if they use the bus. And what I found is that a lot of them walk, and most people do not take buses to classes because they're really, really infrequent. So then at the end of the survey, I would always ask how would they feel about using a ski lift to get to their classes. And out of the 100 people that I talked to, 93 of them said they would and thought it was a great idea. So I thought it was kind of cool just kind of going through this whole entire process and just thinking of something that could work really well and think of something that people would really want.
Searching for the thrill of it, thrill of it. Say that it's love, but to me it's looking counterfeit. I get done with one.